I'm joined by a special guest today out of Nashville, Tennessee. He's had multiple songs break over 1 million streams on Spotify, including with artists like Nick D, Mike, and most recently Party Alone. And he's going to get started by telling you a little bit about how he first started getting into music.
Man, dude, first got into music. First of all, thanks for having me. This guy is amazing, by the way, dude. I mean, I see in the DMs, comments, this dude's always rock and roll. If I ever wanted to give up music, I would just DM this guy, and I'm sure he'd talk me back into it because he's the best. So first of all, shout out to the Batcave, man. Secondly, got into music, dude, Green Day. My cousin was playing a Green Day song at I think it was like a Thanksgiving event at my uncle's house. And I just like fell in love. He was playing Time of Your Life by Green Day on the guitar, and I was just like, bro, I need to do that. So that was the first time I got into music.
That's awesome. And then just going off your Spotify releases, you started dropping more in 2019, 2020. Yeah. And then 2022 felt like is where you really started to grow a lot faster. You had freshman year and Falling Slowly dropped. Going into that year, did you know that was going to be a big year?
No, I didn't. Actually, I started using TikTok, and that changed everything. And at first I was down on the TikTok thing. I was like, okay, TikTok, and I did it. And I realized, oh my God, these songs are blowing up. And then after that, I was like, okay, I should probably do the TikTok thing. And then the momentum just started like catching after that. Yeah. I had no idea what was going to happen.
That was actually how I found your music. The first two artists I found were you and Party Alone, which is hilarious because now you guys put out a song together.
Party's the homie.
But it was when you were promoting Let Me Down.
Yeah.
With the Post Malone and the Morgan Wallen snippets, that's how I found your music.
No
so I
way.
think the TikTok thing really worked.
Well, we don't know this. Me and Party may be going on a tour, but
that'd be amazing. I'll be there. I'll be there a bunch of stops.
We are talking about it. So yeah.
He's actually from Minneapolis, so I've seen him a few times here, but he always puts on a good show too.
He's the man, dude.
So what? After 2022, you start to gain all this success and more streams. What, going into 2023, you had a song with Nick D that dropped. Actually, two songs with Nick D. One of them came out this year, but Sundown came out last year. And then the song with Mike. Yeah. What was, looking at those songs before they came out, you obviously knew big artist names on them. Was that stressful putting it out and wondering how it was going to play out?
I think what's interesting about it is that Mike was like working with an idol. You know what I mean? That wasn't so stressful as it was like kind of intimidating at first, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like when I first talked to him, it was like, oh, hi. Like, I wasn't that shaky, but dude, like it was like, I wasn't so much like attached to the results or anything. I think it was just like a blessing to be able to work with these people. Nick D, same thing, dude. Like it was kind of a wild moment where it's like, oh my God, it's fucking Nick D on FaceTime. Like, holy shit. But what I've learned from both those gentlemen as humans is far greater than the music that we've made together. Like those guys are truly like down to earth, incredible human beings. I have nothing but the kindest things to say about both of them.
Yeah. And what you hear, I mean, I haven't interviewed either of them personally, but what I've heard from a lot of people is that they both have found ways to manage their time where music is a part of their life, but it doesn't take away from the family aspect of it. It's so difficult in the streaming age where it's always be on, always be doing music, and taking time for the important things. Yeah. Your more recent music has kind of delved into some of the things that are really important to you. One that came out not too long ago was Panic Glass. Yeah. And that was a song that I thought was incredible. So I wanted you to share a little bit about the story behind that song and what led you to releasing that song.
I know the exact story and how it came about. I released Cowgirls Go to Heaven. I remember I put a lot of time into that song. And it just didn't do very well. It was really down. And I called my friend Chesley, who makes music as well. I'm sure you...
Oh, yeah. Solid. Good, great song.
I called Chesley, and I'll never forget what Chesley told me. He's like, bro, you just got to, like, speak from the heart.
Yeah.
And I struggle with chronic anxiety, like, really bad. In fact, before I went on stage tonight, like, it's bad. Like, I have to, like, do a lot of things. I have to pray. I have to meditate. I have to take a couple shots. Like, I've got to, like... And I still go out there. The first two songs, little does a lot of people know, like, I'm freaking out. It takes me about, like, third, fourth song in. And you'd think 9 shows in that's gone. It's still there. So I just have a lot of anxiety for a lot of reasons, and it fucks my whole life up. Like I feel like I would be, I don't know. I've let it dictate my life, I guess, to make it short. I don't want to go on a tangent. I'm very passionate about it. But yeah, that song is really me pouring my heart out of like how it's just gotten hard, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I think that, I mean, you've used something that maybe you viewed as a negative in your life before and used it to impact a lot of other people, which is really awesome. Talking about going on tour, what has that been like? Because as far as I know, first tour, never been on the road before. This is the first time and opening for Traveling on a Friday. What's that whole experience been like for you?
Oh, dude, it's been, I mean, like I said tonight, before I went on the Chicago show, I really wanted to drop it. Like, I didn't know if I could do this, but I'm so glad I got to hear Minneapolis and I did it. And it's stressful, dude. Like, especially someone with anxiety, like throwing them and talking about throwing somebody into the fire.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it is the
It's not small shows.
No, no, like it's like, it's a lot, and it's a lot of travel. It's a lot of out of your routine, a lot of out of your comfort zone. Which are things you cling on to with anxiety. You cling on to those comfort zone, whatever. It was the greatest thing that could have happened to me because it allowed me to go over this hump of fear that I've had. And also being with Charlie, dude. Charlie's a great kid. He's like such a sweetheart. He has such a kind soul, and being able to like learn from him and watch him, and he's incredible at what he does. It's just been a blessing.
Yeah.
So
another thing I want to talk about is you've been dropping a song a week for 35 weeks now, which is not an easy feat to accomplish. You drop it on your Vwillz Fam on Groove.
Yeah.
Did you know going into this year that was a plan? You're going to drop a song every single week for the whole year?
Yeah. So I knew I wanted to do something like that because I have like thousands of unreleased songs. So before I started making noise, like on TikTok or whatever, and even like during the TikTok, still to this day, sometimes I'm a little less now, but I used to think I was a failure if I didn't make 3 songs a day.
Yeah.
So for 2-3 years, I made 3 songs a day. So I have thousands of unreleased songs, and I'm just like, I want the Vwillz family to have them. And so, hell, we might do it again next year. We might do a song a week for a long time, but yeah, we'll see. But yeah, so that was something I wanted to do. Yeah.
On top of that, this year you dropped Tennessee Tapes, which was really the first EP you dropped in quite some time since I think 2022, if I'm not mistaken. You dropped the project then too.
Yeah.
What was that like for you, putting all that up?
Dude, that was a really cool moment. I decided I wanted to kind of blend some country into my music and put out a project that kind of emulated both of those, like the pop, hip hop, and the country. And so that was like my step in doing that and living in Nashville and stuff. And that project meant a lot because I feel like we really created a sound that no one else has ever created before. And that was really cool to be able to like put something out that felt really original.
Yeah. And I do think I hear that a lot in your music you put out this year. Whereas, not that the like Let Me Down wasn't you, but you heard the Post Malone, you heard the Morgan Wallen.
Yeah, that was
and there's people that are doing the country music that has more hip hop in it, but I don't think it's quite to the level that you're doing it. Like you're like a cowboy song that came out is real hip hop infused in the country. It's not just twangy country. And I think that adds another level to it where you're actually going in and you're rapping on the song. I think that's awesome.
That really means a lot.
Yeah. And I loved everything that you've done. You've been one of the biggest independent artists I've been following for a while. So this interview means a lot to me. And I just
you mean a lot. You're the man. This guy's the man. He is the freaking man. Seriously.
I appreciate you taking time out of your last stop on tour and getting to meet you and see you perform live. I can't wait to see you, hopefully with Party, but even if not, I'll still make the show.
Dude, I will always make time for him. I'll always make time for you. You're the fucking man.
Thank you so much.
I love you, dude. I love you too. You're the man. Seriously, he's the man.
Thank you.
You're the man.